Hispanic Americans, low-income people, young people. So for Black and Hispanic uninsured rates, they both fell by roughly half over the decade after the ACA was passed. Number 3, Medicaid expansion that improves people's access to care. So research has compared the expansion and non-expansion states, right? So some states expanded, some states did not expand Medicaid. They found that where they expanded Medicaid, it was associated with more preventative care, right? So people not waiting until things are too far gone, increased cancer screenings, more people having a regular primary care provider. That means a doctor, a family doctor, so you don't have to just wait to go to the ER. You can go to a family doctor. Improved access to prescription medication, and it significantly reduced medical debt. That's number 3. Number 4, there's 6 things. Number 4, better financial protection. So people with insurance were less likely to experience catastrophic medical bills, right? People going bankrupt or having to choose between, am I going to feed myself, am I going to buy my pills, unpaid medical debt, bankruptcy related to healthcare costs, which was a huge issue. So medical debt declined significantly. 5, young adults gained coverage. One of the most popular provisions of the ACA, where you can stay on your parents' health insurance until you're 26, that meant millions of people gained coverage. Protection for pre-existing conditions. If you remember, they were throwing people off their insurance, or you couldn't get insurance if you had a pre-existing condition. They would deny coverage. They would charge you a way higher premium. They would exclude some of your coverage. And the ACA prohibited these practices. And sorry, I said there were 6. Number 7, improved health outcomes. So studies have linked the expansion of Medicaid to earlier cancer diagnoses, improved diabetes management, lower mortality, healthier newborns, and again, increased use of preventative care. So when you talk about window coverage for America.
And I'm derailing the conversation. I don't want to, because I thought it was an easy answer. Because Lisa has another objective, and she.
Well, does that change your mind, or you feel like that means nothing to you? So that meant nothing to you.
And so I said,
now we're going to stay right here, because that was my whole point. So that was, when I said I don't think we can change your mind, we can't.
The original
I don't think y'all heard anything that she said. What she said was, why could it not be passed in its original form? Why were there Democrats that went against when he had the votes? And that's why I brought up West Virginia. I brought up Lieberman. They got the blue dog Democrats that are over these, like, fucking redneck, hilly fucks.
Come on up, Bima. You want to join the show? You want to launch a new show tonight, Bima and John Kitover show. It's the Bima show. I'll moderate. Now you don't want to say anything again. Yeah, what are you doing? Hello. You know, they used to call me Horse in college. Yeah. Swear to God, Horse was my nickname. Because when you do what's called Time March, which is like marching, I was lifting my knees really high because we just got back from church, and they were like, "What are you, a fucking horse? Get out of here and neigh, bitch." Yeah. It's like, oh, you didn't know you bought yourself a huge. You got a huge dog house, a lot of money. You know what? You need to meet a guy who, when you say, "Hey, if my horse has a pet," like, no, just block him.
But they want stones. He's such a sweetheart. He's one of those horse. He's very expensive to be allowed. And since there's 3 horses that were found, the 2 other horses take off. out of the house. And then, wait, that's out of hell. Then, my sweet boy, he jumps. He like rears up, right? He gets scared. But then he immediately comes and turns around. It's like, oh, he, came over me and he's breathing heavy. His eyes were bug-eyed. It's like, are you okay? And I'm like, wow, you care about me? You're such a good Lord.
The Democratic Republican Party ignored him in such a large way that watered down what he's trying to achieve. That Trump, when he ran for his first term, he tried to solve that himself, and we ignored that too. But the idea is that Obama was in a slightly larger Republican Party, and then after the midterms, he was in a slightly larger Democratic Party, and it still didn't change much for him. It just didn't change much for him. So I asked, it's my original question, do we really see progress, resolution, when we have these primary base that the majority of Americans still don't see? Nothing but very small shit come out of what they were anticipating from these people who propaganda. I didn't mean to. I asked him a question I thought didn't need all this explanation, so I apologize.
Kia, I have a question for you. So you were saying like something about like blacks like are marginalized in the medical industry. Did I hear that right? And if I heard that right, will you please expand on that so I understand what you mean?
Well, so Megan, let me just ask you to, because I don't want to derail this conversation. I'm going to ask you to Google white standardized medicine. Just Google that and find out what that says. Because
no, I'm asking you because I don't know.
And simple answer. I don't want to, Misa has another object. I think she wants to play a video.
No, I can answer her. I can answer Megan. So, research Frederick Hoffman.
Frederick Hoffman, like Hoff. Did I hear that right?
Frederick Hoffman. And he came up with the concept that black people were so inferior that they did not deserve to have even insurance. And so when Trump made that statement, which he's been pulling from a lot of racial context throughout most of his conversation, he's pulling from that history.
What statement are you saying he made?
She said that Trump said that we need our own healthcare system. So he's pulling from a racist trope that blacks are so inferior that they don't deserve to have a healthcare.
Okay, I'll come to you. Can I come to you, Sean?
Oh, can I just finish that?
Yeah, you said you went on mute, Kia. Let her finish. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, because it's important. She asked the historical context, and I'm just giving her. He's the one that came up with the whole conspiracy, and that system permeated the entire insurance industry for years. And so that's all I wanted to do, Kai, is answer her question so she understands the historical context.
Appreciate you, Sean. It's not historical. It is.
People just allowed to say crazy stuff on this page.
Did
Trump say anything about black people needing their
Omari, didn't she say she doesn't want to derail the conversation?
Yeah.
The conversation's been derailed a long time ago. But ultimately, this idea that Trump said black people need their own health insurance is nonsense. And you guys are just going to say stuff willy-nilly. Just, you're going to make it up as we... Okay. Sean, you claim that Kaya said that. And you jumped on and talked about...
Kaya actually said it.
Didn't say it.
What I'm saying to you... Okay, so Sean, right? But you attached a statement onto that, talking about this Hoffman dude. You talked about Hoffman.
You don't have to go up here and
Has to do with Donald Trump.
Because of what
Because of what Kaya said that was wrong?
All right, and
Anthony,
because what Kaya said is wrong? Because what Kaya said is the height of ignorance? Because what Kaya... Megan was trying to... I got an answer. Look at Frederick
Why are
Hoffman.
you attacking Sean?
Okay, nobody's talking to you. How about that? All right? Or you like, Diana Ross's daughter's stunt double? What do you mean looking out? Why am I attacking Sean?
What's going on?
How did I attack Sean
Take
Malak?
a deep breath.
How did I attack Sean Malak?
Screaming at her.
How did I attack her?
Screaming at her.
Are you screaming at me?
Accusing her of misquoting Kia.
Malak, are you screaming at me?
Bad side of me to come out.
I'm not
You don't have
Oh no, I'm scared of the bad side of you, Sean. Sean, I'm scared of the bad side of you. I'm scared of the bad side of you. How about this, Sean? Sean, how about you let the bad side come out? How about you let the bad side come out? And then I let my bad side come out. Let's let the bad meet evil. Let's go. Alright? You said I don't want the bad, like somebody's scared of you.
Alright, stop.
Who are you?
What are we doing?
Everyone,
What
stop.
are you?
Megan, stop speaking.
That's
What are you?
like everybody's a little upset. I'm just gonna intervene and say I looked that up and it's not true. Trump never said that. But I hope we can be a little. Well, I hope we.
What part of
Someone's mute.
stopped? Yes, it's called a moderator is muting you all. Stop speaking.
Trying to just suggest. that
Excuse me,
everyone be a little bit more
excuse me,
respectful, that's all.
excuse me, Megan. When someone says to stop speaking, I suggest you stop speaking. Okay, I know you're new to the room and welcome to the room, but we all know universally what stop speaking means. If everyone's being muted, that's because you guys have all gone out of control. And just so you know, only moderators can do that. So just be an adult, have some sort of decorum, and act like adults, because we are actually adults. Please, one at a time. And there's no reason to be going after the people for what they've said or not said. Just make your statements directly and just move on. But the arguing between each other is actually quite tiresome to listen to.
Yeah, so Marlene, I was speaking, and then Sean came off her mic.
Well, Anthony, I understand
literally
that,
was
Anthony,
speaking.
but Anthony, in fairness, you did attack Sean, and
I
maybe
literally
maybe that
mention
was
her.
not true. That was
You're
not.
saying something that's not true. I made an independent statement that had nothing to do with Sean.
It turned
Sean?
into you said first of all.
No,
Anthony,
I defended
Anthony?
myself when she interrupted. I defended myself when she interrupted. So what I literally said,
Anthony, you're not listening, and you're a little too loud. Just take a calm breath.
Now, Marlene, listen, I'm
Just
talking
take-
in a regular
Anthony,
tone. I am not
Anthony,
yelling.
Maybe your mic is too loud because literally it sounds like yelling.
Marlene, listen.
Okay?
Marlene,
Just Anthony,
Marlene,
Anthony,
Marlene,
Anthony, I'm talking.
in a regular tone.
I'm
You're not gonna
talking. Why are you
Marlene.
doing this? Like
You're not gonna.
Okay, no, I literally am. Black,
You're not gonna
everyone,
talk to me.
stop.
I'm talking in a regular
Stop
tone.
it.
I am
Anthony,
talking
what's
in a
going on
regular
with you?
tone.
Stop. What's going on with you right
In a
now?
regular tone, Marlene.
That's okay. Like it's what
I'm
is it,
talking in a
full moon or
regular tone,
something?
Marlene.
And Anthony, I'm still speaking.
But Marlene, what you said about
Anthony, could you please just take a moment? Like
No,
literally,
sis, you
now
got it.
I'm yelling at you. How are you yelling?
I'm moving to the audience. Sis. She won't be
What
doing
is
something.
going on here?
Yeah,
Like,
go
why
ahead,
are we
sis, you
taking
got
things
it.
so personally?
That's crazy. No, what happened was Auntie Lisa, Marlene was
Auntie Lisa, Lisa's not your auntie, and don't touch me.
so what she was trying to do was trying
She's
to
not your auntie, and don't
So
touch
what-
me.
Some
Lisa to you?
for the girls' room real quick. So I guess it's too late, Ed, to do Lawrence. Who had the land? I'm sorry, I came in the middle of all
Yeah,
this.
that's all good.
Yeah,
I was just
mine
gonna
was
say
actually-
somebody there.
You know what? It's this is just ridiculous.
It's not just that they control the whole entire app.
Like,
It's
so,
really different.
Anthony, can you say what you wanted to say? Just say it without addressing him, because you said you did make a general statement of y'all, and then it became instructive. Let's just address if there's something that was said that is misunderstood. Just say that, and let's not have this back and forth and asking each other questions when you don't actually want to know the answer and just make an argument. I'm not talking about you, Anthony. That's kind of just been his general thing of asking each other questions when you don't actually care about the answer. Let's everyone just make their submissions. If you have a counter argument or want to fact check and say, actually, what was just said is this and this and that, say that. But no more addressing each other, please. Anthony, please finish what you're saying. Just be chill.
Okay, here's what's up, man. This idea that Trump said something about black people needing their own insurance is a lie from the pits of hell. All right? And this is the kind of stuff that constantly gets perpetuated. And then people latch onto it and they add onto it. They add on to the bullshit narrative that didn't even need to start in the first place. This is like that. It's just that simple. All right? Anyone can look up if Trump said that. Go ahead. We all got supercomputers in our hand. Look it up. And then, he said it because of, Frederick Hoffman. Just like, people just love to lie. They love to lie. They love to make stuff up. It's okay. You ain't got to lie to kick it. Just be regular.
Okay, so I'm gonna provide context because I actually was eating my Raising Cane's and I actually overheard the entire conversation in the debacle. So basically, Kaya was the one who brought up the reference about the ACA, and she was asking exactly what measurable elements of what came from the ACA as a whole. Malak gave her input, she gave her explanation about the ACA and what it did for certain states and what it didn't do for certain states. I was the one who actually had said something about Obama actually stating that African Americans needed their own specialized health plan embedded within the ACA. Trump was never mentioned at all in her submission whatsoever. China, or she was asking Malak exactly where has it been in America. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Sean was the one who said, look up Frederick Hoffman.
Thank you.
While you guys were going back and forth, I was able to find the answer to Megan's question. So, Megan, I would like to provide you a brief overview about Hoffman, his stance on what he published in his assessment, where you can find it in agents. These differences were primarily due to supposed innate racial traits rather than social or economic conditions, even moral deficiencies. These conclusions are now regarded by historians and public health scholars as examples of scientific racism. Although Hoffman compiled real mortality statistics, he largely attributed them to racial inferiority while giving little weight to factors such as poverty, segregation, limited access to medical care. I will rest my mind. Megan, I appreciate you. I may not agree with some of your statements that you have made on stage thus far, but I can always find room for somebody who at least wants to know and is asking with a sense of genuinity. I felt like your question to Malak or to Sean was at least genuine in my opinion. But unfortunately, you do have agitators who come on stage who like to act as if these things don't exist in the Black diaspora. So I would implore you, Miss Megan, if you have the time, to look deeper into what I just read, because if you're not willing to sit down and understand exactly where these ingredients come from when we cook our potato salads, when we grill our chicken, when we cook our hot dogs. If any of the agitators that came on stage tried to make it seem like any of the moderators was trying to... Yeah, I mean, you don't need to be popular.
I don't think that at all. The whole thing was...
Yeah,
I think that
well, because you that to me, because I'm in the Black community. When in fact those in the Black community, when in fact those disparities are true, even today, with the extension from here.
Can I just say thank you?
No, Sean, can you not? Just not. Sean, not. Just please not. Because what I asked and what I contributed, because someone forced me to give an example, which was the ACA. I was the one who brought this conversation up, and I brought this conversation in the context of Obama, what he proposed, and what he got. And those are stark differences. And I said Trump, because I was the one who said Trump. Trump, and you can Google it, and I remember one instance where...
Can you hear me?
I just want to finish.
You can wait till after she's done. That's great. Could you wait till after she's done? Thank you.
And so Megan came in and said, well, what's the difference? And she doesn't know. And I would say that most Black people don't know. Most Black people don't know that this condom, so you get melanin binding drugs. The drug stays in your body because it binds to the melanin, and it becomes toxic over time because we don't flush it out of our systems. It's called melanin binding drugs, and it affects more Black people who are, have a larger concentration of melanin in them, and the fact that we don't know that shit, and they ignore the fact that some of the drugs that they prescribe to us have a detrimental effect to us. It's called melanin binding drugs. Obama didn't say it. Trump said Black people need their own healthcare system, not insurance system. With Megan, because Megan came out, can give me an example. I'm like, that's it's too big a topic because this is my topic and this is not the wrong time. So I was trying to avoid derailing and just ask Maggie, I thought she had the question. The Hoffman thing, that's an old thing that's just not relevant. It might have started some shit, but it's not relevant in today's medicine. Today's medicine still stands under white standardized medicine. That's what it's called.
It is relevant today.
Give me a second. That's the medicine that we're governed under in the United States that still stands today. That means we're excluded from that. That's what Obama was trying to address. That's lazy Trump, who don't really know about this, was trying to capitalize on in his first term when he was trying to, campaign for his for presidency. He threw that out. He didn't know much about it. He didn't care. He was just trying to get those of us who understood what's happening today. He was just trying to get our attention, get our vote. That's all there is. But it's white standard fucking medicine.
Okay, we got it. Can we move on?
Go research, because if you're not interested, then be not interested.
Okay.
Say that.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go back. Okay. I believe Ed, I think you have a clip ready. But before that goes on, welcome to the 420, everyone. Right now we're having a few discussions about a few things. If you have a pink ticket and you want to do the clip, please do. That way you can always get a. With that said,
can I say something real quick before we go ahead? Just 10 seconds.
Go ahead.
I just also want to echo what Marlene said. Thank you all for coming. I know we missed y'all yesterday, and I appreciate y'all coming. The energy has been really good and been high from everyone. I mean, I can't find anything bad to say about tonight's room. So I just want to say thank you. Go ahead.
Larry was scary as hell. Yeah. Because he was too relaxed to see me.
Never mind. Y'all got it.
How could something so iconic get loose?
Hold on, we'll get back to it. Misa. It's gotta play a clip.
Hi, Anthony.
You
Go ahead.
You're messing up the timing of the program.
Okay, go. I'm sorry. Damn, I didn't say that to the people.
All right.
All right, give me some.
Girl, finally. I was looking for some ribs.
Stop it.
All over the country.
All right, somebody's in for Lawrence O'Donnell. We'll hear his name in a second.
Oh, no.
Last word starts today. Thank you, my friend. I'm on my way to it right now. Take care. Tonight, we are fewer than 90 days away from Election Day. 89 to be exact.
And Republicans keep arguing that Donald Trump is overseeing an economic comeback unlike anything America has ever seen. In fact, just last night, Donald Trump dismissed new polling showing his approval rating on the economy has tanked.
I saw polls today on television saying Donald Trump polls on the economy aren't good. The economy is the greatest economy we've ever had by far. The economy aren't good. It's fake polls, just like fake writers.
Democrats, meanwhile, were pointing to those polls, which of course, as you know, are not fake, and should be a reality check for Donald Trump's Republican Party. Democrats are also pointing to the turnout their party has been seeing over this midterm, over the primaries, over and over, in being excited about what they're saying. And they're arguing that the momentum is moving in one direction, toward Democrats.
Whether that remains true 3 months from now will ultimately be decided by voters in November. But the evidence is mounting of just how high a hill Republicans have to climb between now and Election Day. According to new analysis from the Pew Research Center, Donald Trump's approval rating is historically low for president at this time in his term. They write, quote, President Donald Trump's job approval rating, 34% as of mid-July, has changed little over the last few months. But it is lower than his rating at a comparable point rating in the summer of 2022. Now, folks, that's the headline. But what may be more concerning to Republicans who are inextricably linked to this president is where loss is in support is coming from. She reports that much of the decline has come from Republicans and Republican-leaning independents. Listen to this. Today, 69% approve of the way Trump is handling his job as president, down from 84% in February 2025. That is a 15-point drop. Those are voters who have typically been a part of Donald Trump's MAGA coalition. They've been holding it together. And this week, we've been hearing what some of that dissatisfaction sounds like. MS Now's Alex Abbott has been traveling through Ohio talking with Trump voters. The voters who supported Donald Trump after hearing promises to lower prices of oil, foreign wars, and improve their day-to-day lives. For many of those voters Alex spoke with, that's not how they see things today. Instead, many describe disappointment, frustration, even outright anger. President Trump promised no more foreign wars. He promised to bring down prices. Both of those things aren't happening right now. How are you feeling about your support for him? He's just a man with money. That's what makes him powerful. Money talks louder than honestly with people. Sadly. But might be able to go down. I'm not a big fan anymore. Why? Like I said, he's got money, so he thinks he's got all the power. He thinks he can make the decisions of fulfilling the war, and he doesn't feel the repercussion because of it. He did. Does the war feel worth it? I mean, at this point now, but I mean, it's not going to stop. So, is there any benefit to your life because of this war? No, not really. Gas prices go up, store prices go up, everything goes up. President Trump is also pushing so that his family is immune from IRS tax audits. They can't be audited. It looks like it may go forward. Yeah, no. Pardon my language. No. That's not cool. How does he get to do that? We don't. Like, no. No. That's all I gotta say.
I don't think that's fair at all. Just because he's president doesn't mean he gets two special privileges like that.
I bet many of you at home are feeling similarly. Latest CNN polling shows Democrats lead Republicans on the generic ballot by 8 points among registered voters, 47% to 39%. Now, generic ballot polls don't predict the outcome of individual races, but they offer a snapshot of what's going on in the national political climate. And right now, again, things seem to be moving in the Democrats' direction. Another CNN poll found that a 10-point margin, Americans now call Democrats more than Republicans, quote, a party of change. It's a shift from just last spring when Republicans had a 7-point advantage in the same exact poll. We're also beginning to see signs that enthusiasm is actually translating into votes. Just 2 days ago, Michigan Democrats saw strong turnout for Tuesday's primaries. The Washington Post reports in Michigan about 1.5 million voters cast ballots in the Democratic primary for governor, compared with about 930,000 in the Republican primary. Of course, primary turnout alone will determine what happens in November, but campaigns watch these numbers closely, so they do, because it's a sign of voter engagement. At the same time, Republicans are finding themselves defending states they once expected to hold comfortably. In Iowa, new Emerson polling shows the Democratic nominee for governor there, Rob Sand, now holds a narrow lead over his Republican opponent. And Democratic Senate candidate Josh Turek, who will join us in just a moment, trails Republican Ashley Hinson by just 2 points, 48% to 45%. That is a statistical time, folks, right in the polls margin of error. Just 2 years ago, Republicans didn't think they'd have to defend Iowa. I talked to them. Now, Democrats see it as one of their best chances to flip a Senate seat. And one of the party's biggest names is trying to help make the case. A lot of people have heard me say this. Of all the things I've done in politics, Iowa was my favorite thing. There was just a magic about regular folks showing up in gyms like this and just talking out. How do we move our state forward? How do we move the country forward? I'll tell you what, people all across Iowa are saying that they're feeling that hope, that optimism for the first time in a long time. That's my sense. That's what I think's going to happen. I've seen enough. Not only did I get whooped, but you got here a man of character, somebody who knows how to win. Now the ball's in your court, Iowa. I know that guy. Leading off our discussion tonight is Iowa. Josh Turk, he's the Democrat.
Appreciate it. Just puts a lot of emphasis in terms of like what needs to be coming out of war, Trump has in Trump. These media kind of from transformation. With the name other comments.
I don't know. I thought it was in regards to the voter, the male voter. Did they say these were people who were once Trump supporters? These folks?
It kind of implied that they were Trump voters, but I wasn't there.
Yeah, I'm calling a little bit of cap on that. As Sister TT said, a little bit of dip on the chip. I'm saying they put a little guac on that. You know what I'm saying? They had a little extra guac on that. So they found some rando.
The poll control, they were just individual people. You can't really discard the polls. I mean, he's in a poll.
I mean, he's in a poll, yeah. But we'll see in regards to the Senate. He just has to hold on to the Senate. That's all. I mean, literally, it would be his first term. Like, you know, presidents lose the House during the midterm. It's history shows. And most of y'all, from my understanding, are historyologists. So therefore, y'all will see that.
You mean historians?
Yeah. Thank you. Without you in this room, I don't know.
Y'all crack me up every fucking day.
Why are you trying to use everything? I mean, get some of your own originality. Now it's politics.
Yeah, I think you took that from me because I mispronounced.
I've never taken anything you.
Lisa's the only one that did, but Lisa did it on purpose. Lisa did it on purpose. He actually really thought that was a word. So probably not copying you because he's not copying you. You do this shit on purpose.
I'm actually the really.
He actually thought that was.
I'm quite sure.
I mean, I
because
got
he
that
used it
one before 20.
as big pride.
But with that being said, you know, if he loses the House, it's okay. It's 2018. You know, it's no biggie. You know, Democrats actually work for him. That's the part I don't understand. And when we say people who understand history, the historians, historyologies.
Oh my God! Stop it.
The historiologist.
Stop. No, seriously, stop.
Okay. So y'all would know that it happened to Biden, it happened to Trump. One, I mean, it's going to happen to Barack Obama. And so let's not pretend like the Democrats, if they win the Senate, now that's huge. If they don't win the Senate, then it's like, whatever.
I just knew he was going to say hysterectomy.
I was. How'd you know? Fuck. You know me too well, man. That knows me too well. But she stopped me before I could say it. Damn it. I love y'all. Even the ones that hate me. They know.
You too.
Thank you. So, I appreciate it. Misa, this whole socialism thing, though, we'll get the Republicans back in power. I guarantee you.
Okay, so how are you going to do that? This is going to be the focus. This is going to be the focus for
our socialism, because I want all you guys to get on board. Get on the democratic socialist train. I'm trying to get this clip, and as usual, someone want to do something that I found that worked. When I get home, it's an adventure. So let me just keep trying to.
I would rather get back on that Trump train that's crashed and burned than get on the DSA train. I'm gonna be honest.
And why is that, Mari? I'd like to hear you expound on that. Go ahead.
I mean, you want to be a party that wants to get rid of the Senate, get rid of, abolish police or reimagine whatever they try to use now. Now they're trying to change their tune.
Absolutely.
Abolish ICE.
Abolish ICE. Absolutely.
Where's ICE on the stage? ICE is he's no longer on the stage. Anything. If you start with abolish ICE on Jump Street, I can't vote for you. What I can say is you can put guardrails on ICE. I would say you can.
And why? I'm asking why. I mean, you just said things and
No. What? Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm not speaking Germanology.
She did stop.
So what do you don't understand? I guess maybe let's start there. What's confusing you?
We gotta chase down those immigrants in the streets.
It's not chasing down. It's there's people that come across the border that don't have our best interest. ICE does hundreds of activities in law enforcement. They just don't hunt down people.
What about the South? What about the South Africans? How have they contributed? How are they?
Who?
The South African. The ones that Trump let in this year. That they will be, ostracized.
I don't know. Are they committing crimes? Do you have any stats? I don't know.
I don't know, but what you don't do.
I'm not even talking about Hispanics that are here. I'm talking about people who cross the border without, introducing themselves. We're literally talking, and then people who have committed crimes.
Bring a guest.
At least say I'm here. Hello.
But Amari, the question I have is, why do you isolate police and then emphasize ICE? It's not the same regime.
I'm speaking.
You weren't, Sean, you weren't speaking.
I was.
Is this like a that she was speaking?
Chaya left, Chaya right.
I heard Sean speaking. Go ahead, Sean.
What's the problem? So my question to you, Mari, couldn't Customs and Border Patrol perform that function? Because traditionally Republicans are about smaller governments. So we could combine that function into Customs and Border Patrol and reduce the budget by $300 million.
Well, I mean, I think they hire how many ICE agents? So I don't know, tens of thousands.
Not enough.
Well, basically, I think you could reduce the number of ICE agents, like similar you can reduce the number of IRS agents. I'm all for that. But to completely abolish, that's the key word, Ms. Shaw, is ridiculous. You want state troopers or you want Customs and Border?
We didn't know
interior enforcement? Interior enforcement? They go door to door?
They already can pretty much come in. I forgot how many miles. So they already can, literally the shooting that took place was actually a Customs and Border Patrol officer.
They need to be on the borders. Just not the Mexican border, they need to be on the Canadian border. They need to protect the border.
In case Marlene wants to try anything.
Oh, yeah. Well, Marlene could get in because she...
You're just trying, I swear you're just trying to troll, because no one's coming from Canada bustling.
Wait a minute. Canada has a border, right?
We know that we have officers on both sides of the border, right? You're not worried about Canadians coming into America.
Well, Canadians overstayed a visa. They need to go
too. And so do Europeans, and so do a lot of other people. But you guys will go after. Hold on. But ICE is not going after them, are they? No, they're not. So what conversation you have? Have you heard or have you seen them? Have you? Okay, then tell me the stat. Then tell me the stat.
I mean, we've had this conversation.
Tell me the stat of people. Oh, so they are cracking down on all the people are overstaying.
I mean, majority of the border.
Don't go any farther.
I haven't heard that.
White immigrants are hard. White immigrants don't do shit.
Hey, Jose, come on now.
Y'all scared of little ass niggas. So can I get the kid? Because I thought.
Niggas is scared of little ass niggas.
Oh my gosh.
What job have these immigrants taken from you niggas? But y'all so much immigrants out that ain't doing shit to y'all. And in fact, nothing you niggas is going through. But y'all want to talk these white folks. These fucking white lies. White people work
That's right there, Shannon.
Can I just be a black man?
Motherfucking white people more of a threat than these goddamn immigrants.
What? Percent to the American people. 100% to black people.
Oh, Mari, tell them about black on black crime. Maybe he'll change his mind.
Can we not? Yeah, can you relax?
Being passed over, and that's the frustration. So I apologize. I want to respond to Omari. So Omari, and I agree with the last speaker, and as you said, please we're talking about ICE. And so how do you, as black people in these United States, and we're getting picked off one by one. We are not paying attention. We're being picked off one by one. We are being hung one by one. Especially in 2026, there's a concentration of us being hung one by one. And so we're not just talking about the police, we're talking about ICE, we're talking about all of this thing. And where? In the primary, in the Republican thing that she's going to happen in November, where? Is that going to solve those problems? Because didn't these little white masked men just show up in Washington the other day? And we're not, there's no legislation on the board. There's no senators or Republicans or Democrats who are saying we're going to stop that dumb shit from happening, to stop, the KKK and whichever way they show up. And the white
they were South African refugees.
Here I go. I'm talking.
They have their land stolen.
She feels like she can interrupt me specifically. But I'm asking her a question. Where does our need to show up? Because we're not in these southern border states. We're majority in Southeast. It's not Florida. We don't have this influx of immigrants that affect us like that. We are affected by the police across this nation. We're affected second-handedly, or not the major objective, by ICE. We are subjected to some shit, and we're scared, and we're fucking picked off, and we're not focused on that. We're focused on immigrants, like the last speaker said. That's bullshit. Because how? And I'm asking you more. How do you differentiate ICE from the police? Because we are being targeted, and we are being tracked all day, every day. When I live in Georgia, I promise you, those people who live in Atlanta, I promise you, Dunwoody is notorious, and don't give two shit about your rights. All they give two shit about niggas stay in place. And if you get into an accident and you're the black one in it and the one that's not at fault, they're gonna find a way to fault your ass. And that's the police, and that's not ICE. And I moved to Gwinnett. And Gwinnett is even way fucking worse than Dunwoody goddamn police. And they forget LAPD. LAPD and the helicopters are chasing niggas all day, goddamn every day. How do you just deny that the police are in this building? And on top of that, how are we not in the primary asking our representative to protect black fucking bodies? How come we're not putting ourselves first in this country? I don't get it. That's the thing.
Because these niggas be wanting to act like they white and they got these white talk.
That's a fact.
That don't affect us.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
These dumbass
Jose.
We need more immigrants in here so they can take the focus a little bit off of us. Because imagine if it wasn't no immigrants, these motherfuckers would be on us even more.
That's true. So.
So you think the immigrants as a diversion?
That's what I heard. So let me answer to Marlene. So I don't know if you know. So 58 Canadians are was held in ICE detention as of March of 2026, and then more than 150 Canadians, including children, have been detained. So one actually died. I don't know if you noticed, according to CBC News.
And you think that's a great thing, right?
So I just want her to know that she wasn't up to date on her Canadian ICE.
200. So, I'm sorry, that's such a large large sample of people.
Pretty large for Canadians.
Okay.
And I bet you it's double. And I would like to probably dig deeper and get them.
Marlon, can I ask? Hey, let me just ask you
real quick.
Or are they just coming from Canada?
Hold on, Marlene.
Or were they hold on, I'm asking a question. Are they Canadians or are they just coming from Canada?
It says they are Canadians being held.
For illegally and for overstaying their visas? That's a question. It's not.
I'm not arguing this. No, it's okay. I mean, I'll drop that CBC story for you.
Overstaying your visa is not a border issue because obviously you came in legally with a visa, so it has nothing to do with the border.
Yeah, sure. So that's why you have to be specific. What exactly are they sneaking in, or are they just overstaying their visas? It's kind of a big difference.
I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead, JD. You had a question.
No, don't over. Marlene was just asking you stuff.
No,
I can't.
You're gonna have to give me those facts of those because there is a distinction of whether they're sneaking in, which is what we were discussing earlier, versus overstaying their visas, which is a crime that not just Canadians but anyone, especially Europeans and all the Chinese and all Asians.
Detention.
Did the Canadians say hi?
But depends. It would just
detention of ICE. You want to focus on ICE detention, or you want to talk about overstaying?
Surely that they would they not be if that was overstaying their visas? Would they not be detained by ICE for that reason?
I mean, it's possible. It could be criminal. It's most likely criminal activity because Trump is only going after the worst of the worst.
Well, there's a distinction between people sneaking into your country and people who have overstayed their visas and being detained, right?
Of course there is.
Then make the distinction. Well, then just specify what you're talking about. You said, there's all these Canadians sneaking going into America. Based on what?
I didn't say all.
No, of course, I didn't say you said all Canadians. I said, no, my lord.
You said all.
Okay. You said all these Canadians. Not all Canadians. Oh my good lord. Are you not understanding do you not understand English? You're saying that there's a whole bunch of, I'll rephrase. You're saying there's a whole bunch of Canadians sneaking in from the border.
I didn't use the word sneaking, I said overstay.
This is how people
but that's not just Canadian, but again,
but you said it in the context
not the Canadians. We're sneaking into the border. That's not the same thing.
He was talking about the Canadian border being defended.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about, Amari. Context means everything.
Yeah, but then you
hold on, Amari, don't do that, because we were talking about border and border control versus people overstaying their visas. That is the big difference.
I wanted to be inclusive. I said it needs to protect all the borders. So
but again, that's implying that the borders are not currently protected, which makes no sense. Considering there literally is border control on both sides of the border. What are we talking about here? Overstaying your visa has nothing to do with border control. What are you doing?
You made a situation, you said, like we're sneaking. No, because you made a statement like, not like we're sneaking over. And I said, Canadians overstay their visas.
But you said,
but that's not, oh my good lord. Those are two different subjects, but it's okay. If you're going to act as if it's the same dumb subject, you can do that.
You were too wrong.
Who's wrong on what?
Canadians are in ICE custody because you tried to make it seem like there's only brown people being held in ICE.
Who said that?
You did.
When did it come out of my mouth? Hold on. First of all, Canadians are not just white people, first of all. I have no idea what in the world you're talking about. I literally asked you a question. First of all, we were talking about border and border control, and now you're talking about overstaying, which are two different subjects. No, I did not actually. What part of we were talking about border control did you not understand? Then I asked you a question as regards to who's being detained by ICE. Is it because they were snuck in, or is it because they overstayed their visas? That was a question.
You just asked that question.
Exactly, that was the question I asked you about whether they overstayed their visas or not.
You cut me off and then let me finish.
Omari, Megan keeps applauding you, so I think you should ask her out.
No, I'm not going to ask her out.
I don't know why you can't be following this conversation.
Megan is on your side. There could be something there. I know you love white women.
What is going on?
Your daughter couldn't get any words.
This is annoying, Mama. It's just annoying. The idea that we're not even.
You don't
voting for in these midterms. We're not even voting for.
I'm trying to be more serious. The stakes are very high.
How are we doing that? We're still. So Obama ran on grassroots, did he not? Did he not?
Hold on. Let's stick to. Hold on, people. Let's go back to the conversation. This topic is back.
I would love to hear what the new people on stage have to say. JJ, serious? What's up?
Well, Amari, why are you gaslighting Marlene? Like, you know good and well what you said.
You don't know, like, it's like, he knows he can't gaslight me, but it's okay. I'm just not even going to bother.
And she
But
lit
no
herself on fire.
one's allowed to get for adoption right now. I assure you.
What's up, Amari? The worst of the worst. Trump is going after the worst of the worst when he's literally hunting down like children and grandmas.
Hold on. Are you trying to say something?
I'm let you guys finish this conversation because I really know what it's about. So I'm just listening. But go ahead, because we had go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Misa, how you forgot me?
I'm just trying to.
I like your new PTR.
Thank you, too. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Nah, I was just like, come on now, Omari. We cannot say that Trump is going after the worst of the worst when he's hunting down, abuelas and children and stuff, and having them zip tied and shooting like soccer moms in the face via proxy, via ICE agents, like literally like mass KKK as thugs in covered up faces and vans. So it's, come on, he's literally just terrorizing pretty much anybody who's black and has an accent.
Well, ICE attacks are up over 1,000%, so that's why they're protecting. And two, if it's called collateral damage. So let's say if I'm going to, I have a target that I have to go pick up, who actually is a criminal, and literally, if I go in that area and I find 5 or 6 other people, and maybe they may not have a criminal record, but they still don't have their proper documents, they're going to get picked up.
That's not how we have.
Collateral damage.
They also are randomly walking up to people. They're doing these. We already know they're
telling them you have to.
People. Oh, hold on. We know they're stopping people of color. We know all this already. Mm-hmm. We know they were given permission to do this in some states, right? Well, weren't they given permission to stop people of color? So these aren't people that were quote unquote criminals that they knew they were criminals. They were surrounded by other immigrants. We know that. And then now, what's the number? It's $2,500 per taxpayer to pay for this shit. Right now. This is the businessman, right? This is a businessman, right? That you all said was a good businessman. I'm trying to see the benefit. I got the benefit of the criminals, but I'm trying to see the benefit of the rest of this shit, other than make America white again.
Real shit too. Answer me this question. How does Mexicans get deported out of New Mexico? The state is called New Mexico, and Mexicans are getting deported in New Mexico. That's kind of crazy to me.
Are you serious though?
Yeah, and I even got stopped by ICE before too when I was walking down 183rd Street in New York. They asked me like, "Oh, you got papers?" I'm like, "I'm Puerto Rican." I literally had to show them my ID just to prove.
But see, you guys miss a.
They pressed me like they're a gang or something.
But I think the argument when you come and say, "Oh, they're arresting Mexicans in New Mexico." New Mexico is not Mexico.
Yeah, but they have the entitlement to even name it after it. And America will even let in Mexicans to, hey, you do wiring work, we need your wiring work skills. You know, construction, we need your construction skills. You know how to fix refrigerators, we need that too. But hey, your family can't stay here because fuck them.
They didn't cross the border crossed them.
Facts.
What?
They didn't move. The border moved across them. They just kicking it where they
can.
can.
Just got here the other day?
A lot of them. Y'all drifting towards MAGA, boy. Y'all drifting towards MAGA.
I'm on that tonight.
Don't start. You on one?
I'm on that.
Well, let me pass you something. So you can get off it. Nobody's trying to be MAGA in here.
Leave them people alone. They're not even coming over here
Can
anymore.
I ask you a question?
Because of y'all.
Can I ask you a question? Why do y'all think that?
Somebody has Notorious blocked. Can you guys unblock him or drop down or something?
Why do y'all think that ICE gets such a bad rep under Trump, but they were more active under Obama?
Because they were doing things the proper way under Obama. And they were going after actual
They weren't shooting American citizens.
How about that?
It wasn't ICE under Obama. It was Customs and Border Patrol.
It was ICE.
It was ICE as well.
It was ICE.
Yes, it was.
And hold on, wait a second. Under Obama's administration, ICE killed over 40 people under Obama, and they deported twice as many people as Obama.
Citizens in the street.
They killed, yes, they killed over 43 people. They didn't put it in a newspaper to make y'all feel, propaganda.
Who did they shoot?
What the problem? You're not
Who did they shoot? Could you give me one case?
One at a time.
One case at a time.
Y'all can look it up yourselves.
No. You brought no. Y'all be so fucking dumb. Y'all come up here with this happened, but
it's all propaganda.
You have no case.
You can look it up yourself.
No, you look it up, bitch.
Why are you doing all that instead of having a conversation? This is what y'all are so emotional.
We're having a
Fuck
very
up.
Are you serious?
Y'all, we're having a very nice, friendly night tonight, which is unusual. So I like to keep it that way, if you don't mind. But I have this little clip. Go ahead and start with your answer justice question, because you said it wasn't recorded. But how did you find out if it wasn't recorded?
You can just do your homework and see how many people died under it. You could do it. You do homework and see how many people died under ICE, under Obama. No, it wasn't propagandized.
That's not true. There's no fact behind what you're saying.
So nobody died under. So he didn't. So Obama didn't deport more.
If you gave us a case, we could probably look at it, but you don't have any.
We're not talking about deporting. We're talking about killing American citizens. Killing American citizens.
Y'all literally just said that's not true.
Are we saying 0 people were shot from 2008 to 2016? Is that the argument?
I didn't kill American citizens when Obama was president. No, not
they killed.
Are we gonna say that ICE didn't shoot anyone from 2008 to 2016?
That's what y'all saying. That's what y'all saying.
Citizens.
It was ICE.
Was American citizens blowing whistles in people's face?
When they block it.
Shut up. Nobody deserves to get shot for blowing a whistle and no anything.
How about trying to run over somebody?
Okay, Obama, he's still this day.
We're just listening.
He's still this day.
How long did this change? Yeah.
Okay, so can you talk about the time that you're saying there's a difference at this point between ICE and what was the other agency?
Customs and Border Patrol.
Okay, so go ahead and finish speaking, because I just heard you kept saying that.
Yeah, because so the difference is that under the Obama administration, he was attempting to do it as humanely as possible. So he was stopping and deporting people before they even come in. And he was able to prevent a lot of folks from literally even entering the country and establishing residency. Whereas under the Biden administration, a high concentration of people actually came in and were able to establish residency within the borders of the United States. Hence the reason why Obama was given the nickname President, what they call the Porter-in-Chief, because he was literally utilizing Customs and Border Patrol at its most maximum level to prevent
I'm sorry.
crossing of the border.
Real quick, Chad, give me a second. Give me just 10 seconds. So, but with Barack Obama, his administration under Fast and Furious is responsible, according to stats, for tens of thousands of Mexicans being dead because they sold guns to the cartel. Also, a border agent was
Are
killed
you kidding me?
because of him. So yeah, so things happen,
Wow.
but we're not gonna forget about Fast and Furious, which caused people, brown people that you say you quote unquote care about, that would die in Mexico because of those guns.
Oh wow.
So not to sound
This isn't true. None of
so
this
not
is true.
Weird.
so not to sound insensitive, but 67 deaths under the Obama administration is really I'm talking about underneath the hands of ICE really isn't all that bad. When you talk about the Trump administration and how he has pretty much poured in billions and billions of dollars into funding ICE for them to just outrageously murder people out in the streets, there's nowhere compares it. Think of it as the bird flu. You know, the pandemic that we don't often talk about in the Obama administration, the reason why there were less deaths and more cases for the bird flu, that pandemic, and the reason why he outpaced Trump when it came to COVID, and he tore up that pandemic preparedness kit that he left behind. Yeah. So those deaths that we keep talking about, and I heard and I saw Vikings comment in the chat, 67 deaths. We have to really start talking about how these deaths are articulated, where they break it down to, why did they die, what was the cause of their death. When we talk about murder, you got ICE agents underneath Trump who are murdering people for no reason, just because they look like them, because they're black and brown.
Well, there were no murders ever.
Well, so see, that's the point I'm making, Just. So when they talk about the deaths, you're talking about deaths, 67 deaths between 2009 to 2017. I think that's actually pretty good.
Right. It says the deceased individuals were non-citizen detainees, and reports attributed to their deaths primarily to medical neglect, inadequate health care inside facilities, heart attacks, pre-existing conditions, or suicide, not lethal force or actions by agents against American citizens.
Yeah, that was my point. He tried to do it as humanely as possible through the Border Patrol program. And I don't know if any other people are experiencing this in their communities, but they're literally trying to buy up as much office space and warehouse space as they possibly can throughout the United States to build these detention centers.
Correct.
Like, it's crazy.
Also, it should be noted that there were actually quite a few Democrats, if you were, kind of following the politisphere and pundits and stuff, who had issues with that. They took issue with that, but the difference is, Mr. Propaganda tax person, Obama was doing. He was a great president. He was doing a lot of really good things. So they were not going to go too hard. Are we really trying to relitigate Obama's presidency? Because shout out to the LGBT community.
That's the only people he helped under his administration under 2 terms. Was up the LGBTQ people.
Well, he didn't help them. The Supreme Court did. I wish y'all understood how law works, because he didn't help anyone. He didn't do anything for the gay community. The Supreme Court did. That's who made that possible, not Obama.
Obama made it possible, and he still supports it to this day.
Supporting and making things possible and codifying things into law are 2 different things. So if you understand how law works, the Supreme Court are the people who made gay marriage possible, not Obama. Obama had nothing to do with it.
He did. It was a partner's campaign. What are you talking about?
No, it wasn't. He was against gay marriage when he came in. Y'all be dumb as shit. He was literally against gay marriage. So was Biden.
He was against it.
He was against it.
He evolved. Yeah, he actually said he evolved.
He did. Yeah, this is a public statement.
Biden said it too.
Jeez, like.
Neither one of them were fools. Like, what are you talking about?
He was initially advocating civil unions and not marriage.
Okay, so we have breaking news to do, but before we do that, because this is on a topic, and maybe you guys since you're talking about this, I'm going to go ahead and play this because this was part of one of the clips you're supposed to play. Thank you, Ed, for being my lifesaver. My lifesaver, and I like the cherry one. You've played Lawrence O'Donnell tonight. You always step in and make sure you play Lawrence O'Donnell for this floor, and I appreciate you so much, Ed. I don't want to seem like I don't. So thank you so much for always taking time out of your night to play Lawrence O'Donnell for everyone. No one says thank you to you. They think you're supposed to be doing it. You know, this is our job. They haven't got not one W-2 from this bitch. So I'm sorry. So thank you, Ed. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Not the W-2.
Child, these people, they ain't got a fucking nerve. They think that we're supposed to, this is our job. We're supposed to take shit, eat shit. I'm so sick of these stuff. Okay, but anyhow, let me get back, stay focused. Okay, so this is what I want to play since you guys are talking about immigration. And listen, just be patient with this. This is a conversation. We're just talking tonight. That's it. Because eventually we gotta go to sleep. So we got jobs tomorrow. So listen to this.
Outside of baby benefits, can you name one Democrat? Is there an America First Democrat? Is there such a thing as an America First?
What's going on with her tape? They just say tape. Hang on, I'm sorry. Are you connected? Oh, okay. One moment. I'm so sorry. I have like a million speakers, but I don't plug them up. This is wild. Now, this is not the JBL. So I can find the plug for this one. Okay. What is this one? All right. Perfect. Perfect. All right, now turn that on. You y'all being so quiet. It's like Lisa can't even get herself together. No, I can't. Okay, I think it's working now. All right.
There are fuck to the Islamic extremist Democrats, but there are no America First Democrats. There are no John F. Kennedys. There are 0 John F. Kennedys in the Democrat Party right now, except maybe. Guy comes into the Senate on vibes, has a host of mental health issues, goes away to a place, and then comes out sounding like conservative Republican leader. So in Connecticut, the governor is spending millions of dollars to support illegals dead in the lot. In New Jersey, the governor, Mikey Sherrill, spending $12 million while complaining there's not enough resources for education. Okay? Complaining there's not enough resources for education, but it's going to spend $20 million of state taxpayer money on illegals. Here's a montage of California mayors, starting with San Francisco, talking about their not primary election, their primary premier issue, which is not American citizens and not homeless Americans, but free.
In the Bay Area, hundreds of thousands of our immigrant neighbors are living with fear and financial uncertainty. Our local mayors, county leaders, and the San Francisco Foundation created the Stand Together Bay Area Fund to raise $10 million in direct cash assistance for immigrant families across our region.
The past year, I've heard from immigrant neighbors across our city who are living with fear and uncertainty. No one in our community should have to live like this. That's why I teamed up with other Bay Area big city mayors at the San Francisco Foundation to raise $10 million in direct support for immigrant families.
That is why I'm proud to partner with the San Francisco Foundation. They have an aggressive goal to raise $10 million. That's why local leaders, including myself and the San Francisco Foundation, created the Stand Together Bay Area Fund. Our goal is to raise $10 million in urgent direct cash assistance for immigrant families across 6 Bay Area counties.
Isn't it funny? They have no plan to actually solve homelessness. It's getting worse in California. Not better, it's getting worse. It's not going to get better if Nikia Rahman wins the election. They are not promoting resources for veterans. They are not promoting resources for American citizens. Their only priority is the illegal immigrant. Nothing more, nothing less. It's the illegal immigrant in New Jersey, in New York, in Connecticut, California, and everywhere Democrats are in charge. The only people that matter are the illegal. Where's the America First immigrant? Where? Outside of maybe that. Where? You get the candidates that are actually succeeding in the Democratic primaries. They're communists and radical Islamists.
Wait, who are you playing right now? Who is this person? The generic right-wing MAGA type.
What did he say that made you interested? I'm curious. What was the phrase that made you emotional?
Who are you talking to? Are you talking to me?
Yes. What was the part in that recording?
I was asking who was talking, and she giving me the answer.
We know you. We heard them.
Yeah, there are America First Democrats all over the place. They talk about having, people not avoid taxes. They care about science. They care about rebuilding roads here. They care about healthcare. They care about homelessness, feeding the poor. You mean like that kind of stuff? Those America First Democrats. The ones who don't want to, let's say, fund crazy wars in Iran. Are you talking about those?
No, I'm asking, is that what you just heard? That's your question?
His question was, where are the America First Democrats? And I'm telling you, all of the things that the America First Democrats believe. And I'm asking Lisa, before you interrupted, Misa, who was the person speaking?
America First? I'm just asking. While she puts one, I was just asking what
was it Sean Hannity?
No, I don't know because it was.
It was a podcast individual, right? I don't know who that. The voice doesn't sound familiar.
It sort of sounded like Sean Hannity.
No, Sean Hannity. It's not. It's definitely not Sean Hannity. It's definitely not Sean Hannity. I don't know Sean. It's someone. It sounded like. It sounded like a fake Rush Limbaugh. Like a T-Mobile Rush.
I mean, well, in some ways it doesn't matter because it's all the same right-wing MAGA talking points of the bullshit.
No, what's the talking about? No, the question was what's talking.
Can we have one at a time, please? One at a time.
I'm sorry. Are you not listening to what I said?
Yeah, good Lord.
He said, where are the America First Democrats? And I just gave you a whole list of all the things the America First Democrats support and are against.
When the reason we were playing
So
it, and I'm
I don't
reading the
understand
chat,
what you're
the
talking
reason we were playing it because we were talking about immigration. Okay? That's why. And we were supposed to be playing this a long time ago, but I was driving trying to get here for 2 fucking hours. This is not my motherfucking job.
My dear, first of all, hello. Number two, I'm asking because normally when people play clips, there's a basis tied to the conversation. And
Don't
normally
do
they.
that conversation shit with me.
I just said conversation.
We were talking about immigration.
Right. What I'm saying is
Were you
that
here?
I understand that. What I'm saying is it being pertinent to the conversation because whoever it is who's speaking is important. What that person was saying would be important. Like what their relevance is to the
Just comment
discussion.
on the fucking clip, please. That's all.
I think he was responding to why they were saying certain things.
Because we're all on a sequence. Nobody said we would play Lonzo Donald while we were playing that shit. You guys are killing me. Just go with the fucking flow.
Yeah, I just think it's
commenting on like a limited context of the things that he's talking about. That's why it's
We're just having a conversation. If you guys don't want to talk about it, move on.
Well, that's why
they were talking about immigration, and then we started talking about.
Was it Alex Jones? Is that Alex?
No, I don't.
no. Can y'all stop pestering Lisa with questions?
Okay.
But
I'm not question. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead with limited context about the immigration debate. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's just sparking the conversation.
But you guys, okay, fine. Because we're just having a conversation about immigration. You guys pick up where you left off, and I just asked you, what did you think about what he said? That's all I said.
Basura. Do you understand that? It's garbage.
Okay, so you commented. Next.
And what do you call Fetterman? What was the name he gave to Fetterman?
I think JJ wanted to say something.
Bro, we don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get what.
Well, the whole thing was about asking where the America First Democrats, and I think that the issue is that. Well, that's a whole other conversation, chat. But I think that the issue is that Democrats and MAGA Republicans just have a fundamentally different understanding and perspective on what America First actually is. That's the thing, because Democrats, for the most part, like we're not. First of all, we don't call people who come into this country who are actually coming here for a better life, like many of our, what you call it? Many people, I mean, obviously, like this FBA, let's say, like we're descendants of slaves and things like that. A lot of us, but a lot of people come to this country, just for a better life, just trying to work and pay their bills and contribute to society. So we're not villainizing them. We're not, calling them illegals, which I just think is an absolutely deplorable term to literally call someone, like objectifying them in a way and removing the humanity. Like, how is a person illegal? Like, that's just very, very, a very disgusting thing to say. But that's the thing. So, yeah, America First, it just means different things, to Democrats versus MAGA Republicans. So, but also too, the other thing that he was, I already saw earlier today. I saw like the guy that just won was in Minnesota.
Right.
Michigan. I'm a New Yorker, y'all. Sorry. But I've never been to either of those places. But they already have the MAGA Republicans and stuff. They're already going on with the attack ads, and I saw one, where they took one little clip of him saying like, I'm dangerous when I, talking about like I'm lit, like I'm a danger to Trump and all of his fuckery, and they just took that little clip and they're running that with an attack ad. So they're just trying to frame. They said Islamists and radicals. They're trying to do what they go back to their playbook, because they know that the majority of Trump supporting MAGA is racist. So they want to gin that up. They don't feel that non-white people deserve to be considered as their equal as American citizens. So, they're just going back to the playbook as usual, racism, bigotry.
Okay, I appreciate you. And then the thing about it, thank you, sir. You know what it was is that we had clips to play, and it took me 4 hours to get home, literally 4 hours to get home. Bumper traffic, so I couldn't play any of the clips. So now that I'm home, I'm gonna play the clips that our clip player pulled for us for tonight, and that's what we're doing. If you guys are confused,
who's the clip player? Who's the clip?
It's none of your business.
It's
It's
a
a clip puller. No, it's not.
Why
Why
y'all put those jackets on me? I don't send her clips
It's
to
not
play.
saying jackets.
You're sitting
Everything I say.
I'm sorry. You're sitting next to her. Yeah, but I don't send her clips.
No, he doesn't.
That's a lie. Oh my
He does not send me anything. I know what you say.
I play my own clips. I'm not sending these.
Yo, what is wrong with y'all? Why y'all so being sensitive this evening?
Because y'all be thinking like everything. I do everything.
Stop being sensitive. It's a question.
Because I'm sensitive.
I'm sensitive as a motherfucker, man.
No, hold on for a second. We were having a very nice grill, and nobody was happy. So I'm just trying to figure out, Amari does not send me clips. Why do I need to have anybody send me clips? Why?
All I think we wanted to know is like who was speaking. That's
okay. So you know what? I didn't want to even say it, but you guys have just got to know everything about every fucking thing. Okay, so the clip is sent to me by my daughter. I don't want to keep, if I say I don't know, why don't you just take it for what the fuck it is? And now I gotta say the clip, she does it because she's earning money. I'm gonna have this shit talked about another girl. Fuck it. Listen, if I say something, I'm saying it, right? So why are you doing? I gotta know.
Girl, all you had to do was say who was talking. We ain't asked all that.
Mason.
So look the person's name up.
I don't know.
What are you giving?
Well, why would you think that people not gonna want to know who we're listening to?
So if I say I don't know, just then what?
I mean, like.
So seriously, if I say
like, it's not this dramatic. This is like this is Young and the Restless for no reason.
No, you start.
I didn't even ask, but I thought it was Blake Bell.
Not you. But it's just like if somebody says they don't know, why you just can't let it go? That's my question. Why you just?
You're the host, Ricky Lake. Like we're asking you.
Not Ricky Lake. Why gotta be Ricky Lake?
Got it, sir.
Why gotta be Ricky Lake though?
It's giving Ricky Lake. It's giving Jenny Jones. Ricky Lake.
Jenny Jones?
Yeah, it definitely gives Jenny Jones.
That's fucked up, Jess. That's okay.
What's wrong with Jenny Jones?
Jenny Jones. That's better.
No, to eat when you didn't go to school.
I can't be Judge Mathis. I can't be
Judge Mathis. No, man. No, girl, you're trying to. Now you're eating this up.
Sally Ray. Y'all is brutal.
Sally Ray.
Sally. Dr. Diane Bryant.
Sally.
Y'all remember when was that girl from the Cosby Show, like the daughter when she had her own show?
Tempest
Bliss a
Bliss.
little bit.
Nah, that's tryery.
No, she was cute. It was cute.
Tempest Bliss, she had like 10 shows.
It was cute though.
Mason,
no,
tell your daughter we appreciate you.
Mother Love, Forgive or Forget. Mother Love used to be sweating boots. But that's what it gives, Forgive or Forget.
Lisa,
Cameron Hall.
Lisa, can I ask a quick question?
Sure, go ahead.
Yes, because there's a lot of people in the room that are very well versed in politics.
Mm-hmm.
I happened to hear on NPR, they didn't explain it. They announced today that Trump deregulated headstone. Does anybody know what that is?
Do you have the information on that? Do you have the info on that, please?
I read it earlier, Lisa.
Okay.
Can somebody share?
Yeah, like how do you deregulate headstone?
No, I think he was. No, I think he's
defunding parts of it, I believe.
No.
Right.
I know exactly what I heard, experience. It's classified as deregulation of Head Start.
So
he's talking
yeah,
about
they're taking the money away.
Head Start.
So there are some federal requirements that are associated with Head Start, and that's what they want to get. So, for example, a certain number of staffed children, like class size limits, curriculum requirements,
Oh, right.
health screening.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right, here.
they're going to take away. They're lowering the quality.
So lowering the
They're taking the money away from the food too.
Hold on,
They're not going to
baby
fund
cakes.
the food.
Hold on, baby cakes.
Well, you asked me.
No, I just want to tell you I got the thing, so that's
Oh, okay, thank you.
I'm gonna play for you, and so you guys know who the fuck it is. This is coming from God, now they don't need to say. They gonna ask me a whole goddamn dossier on this one clip. I think this is PBS NewsHour. So let me play it. It's only 1 minute. If y'all can hold your shit for 1 minute, that's it.
Want to end your tired days with breathtaking, 3D visual feast? Meet the 5D holographic projector that turns any ordinary space into a magical TV room in 1 second.
Here we go.
President Donald Trump's administration on Thursday revealed plans to overhaul Head Start, a federally funded program that provides early education for the nation's poorest children. Officials from the Department of Health and Human Services say the proposed changes would encourage more local decision-making. Early childhood policy experts argue the deregulation could undermine Head Start's position as the gold standard in early education. Head Start centers serve around 700,000 of the nation's most vulnerable children, including those who are homeless, in foster care, or disabled. That is not set to change. The proposed plans include eliminating most of Head Start's regulations, such as standards for low staff-to-student ratios or requirements to provide services for preschoolers' families. Centers will have the option to continue operating as they do. However, officials say they will have to adhere to at least 2 new requirements. Those requirements being a 5% cap on administrative expenses, down from 15% under current rules, and new nutrition provisions championed by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy. The public will have 60 days to weigh in before changes can be made. The final rules could face legal scrutiny, further delaying their implementation.
Thank you. Now, what does that mean, though? Like, I hear it, and
I can give
what's
you
the
the
impact? Like, does
synopsis.
anybody know what will this be a net positive, a negative?
I can give you a little synopsis. So yes, they are deregulating, but they're talking about relaxing requirements to teacher-to-child ratios, class sizes, curriculum standards, family engagement, home visit, dental care requirements, and the people are saying they could save over $2 billion, and yeah.
So is that child care? That sounds like child care instead of Head Start.
This is Head Start.
No, I get that experience. I'm saying, are they downgrading the learning component to where it's just simply child care?
I mean, this is part of the health. I said teacher-to-child ratios.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, is that child care? Maximum class sizes, relaxing that standard.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if you're relaxing all of these standards, then that, I don't know.
Then, right, you're relaxing the standard, which means you can have greater.
She's saying it won't be Head Start
The
anymore.
quality,
All of that.
yeah, will it be Head Start anymore?
Oh, well,
That's
that, I mean, if they want to get rid of Head Start, I mean, that's not a secret, is it? They hate children, they hate education, they hate the poor, and they hate minorities, and that's who they think this is going to impact the most, so of course they're going to get rid of it. I mean, that's not rocket science, is it?
Well,
They
didn't say anything about the food, because what I read earlier, it talked about not providing food. And the comments.
It's going to be John Kennedy's style of food. So, he's really big on removing all the additives and removing all the chemicals into the food. which is not a bad thing. Dies.
His name is Robert Kennedy Jr., not John Kennedy.
I mean, I'm sorry,
But I think he might be just trying to remove the food, period. And for me, this class size is concerning because what is just going to be babysitting and warehousing?
That's what I was saying too. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just fit them all in class 100 to 1. Just, you know what I'm saying? And feed them. And feed them wheat bread with a seed.
They don't want the babies to learn.
Yeah, because if you have a high,
This is what they doing.
And they don't want your baby to
in
learn.
education,
These kids will be fine.
yeah, everybody knows that's what makes a difference in your child's education is the ratio of teachers to students.
He's a bad leader.
You know, they go to socialism train.
Exactly.
I bet the Democratic Socialists wouldn't deregulate it. So.
That's why I bought 2 or 3 tickets. I'm not got a yearly pass on that train.
Yeah, I'm literally getting ready to board because every day there's something that deals with the social safety net that's being cut.
Mm-hmm. And the wealth gap is just crazy.
Yes, it is.
All right, so now was that cool? Now can we move on to what's the next?
See, you gave us the source of the story. I'm thanking you for giving us the source. The story.
Sometimes we don't have the source, but I will make sure that I pass this on to what do I call it? To the producer. That she also makes sure she make a list for me to let me know where each clip is coming from per Scotty.
Yes, here it is. Don't deaden me, Lisa. Also, go ahead, play your next MP4 clip of some random person.
It is gonna be random. I have to go and go to another. That was off of the computer, the desktop. Now I gotta go do everything. But go ahead, you guys keep talking. I'll get it together. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. We're supposed to be doing the latest breaking news. So thank you for bringing that up. Whoever brought that up, because I didn't even see that as part of the breaking news. Thank you. Let me go back here.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm deeply concerned about it.
I know. Seriously, thank you very much. All right. So what's going on? Now, I don't know what this is about, and maybe you guys who follow the news all day knows what this is about. New Mexico judge orders Meta to pay $567 million into a child mental health fund. Can anybody elaborate on that?
I haven't read that headline today, but there are a number of legal suits up against Meta related to depression and anxiety being worse, in particular in adolescents and children, related to like Instagram use, Facebook. So if I were betting, and I haven't read the article, I have to preface that again, it's probably related to that.
Yeah, let's see if I can get more info on that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Did y'all already talk about targeted birthright citizenship?
That was my next one. Thank you for that.
Through new executive orders?
That was the next
I
one.
told y'all, everyone was like, oh, the Supreme Court, like, you know, they voted it down. They voted, I'm like, these people don't give up.
Okay, here it is. Let me see if I can get it for you. Hold on a second. It's gonna play. There we go.
Tonight, a federal judge speaking out, warning of the death threats he's received after ruling against President Trump. U.S. District Judge John McConnell, who is my next guest, says after he extended a temporary ban on the Trump administration's attempts to freeze trillions in federal spending, the threats began. One of them was a pizza delivery sent to his home with the name of Daniel Andrew.
That's something I wanted. Birthright citizenship. Here it is. Alright, there it goes. Paywall. Alright, hold on. I'm not doing this right now. I'll get it in just a second. Alright, here we go. Alright, I have that there's something going on. Trump is trying to speak. His mouth is moving. Please don't say anything. Oh, here it is. If this doesn't work, let's go ahead and say it for some reason.
If you're sleeping in a position like this, you gotta hear about this thing. Did you know your soft pillow was actually crushing your shoulder?
President Trump is again trying to curb birthright citizenship, despite a recent Supreme Court ruling that struck down his previous attempt. President Trump signed 2 executive orders today. The first order is aimed at cracking down what the Trump administration calls birth tourism. The second expands the definitions of people ineligible for birthright citizenship. So back in June, the Supreme Court ruled President Trump's executive order seeking to limit birthright citizenship was unconstitutional. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson joining us live now. Jessica, what makes these new executive orders different than the first one that was struck down by the Supreme Court?
So part of what makes it different is that the Trump administration is trying to target just specific categories and is also looking at the 2 exceptions that we know are present with respect to birthright citizenship, the children of foreign diplomats and the children of invading military forces, and seeking to expand those categories. So 1, it's narrower in general, and 2, part of what the executive orders do look at those pre-existing exceptions and just try and enlarge them.
So what types of legal challenges can we expect to see play out as a result of these orders?
So very similar to what we saw with respect to President Trump's first order dealing with birthright citizenship, but I think the main argument will be that these particular executive orders violate the 14th Amendment birthright citizenship clause. And there will be other detailed challenges as well, but the main one will be this is not.
Expand on that.
This is the idea that pregnant women come to the United States for the purpose of giving birth to children who become U.S. citizens. We should note that this is already illegal under immigration law. And so what this would do is essentially try and say that even if parents, not children obviously, if parents are seeking to violate federal immigration law, that creates an exception to the 14th Amendment birthright citizenship clause. I think that, as we talked about, would be subject to vigorous legal challenge, where people would say there's nothing in the Constitution that creates a carve-out for unless your parents try to commit fraud against the United States or try to, again, enter this country under false pretenses. In terms of policy, you can have a robust debate. In terms of the law, I don't think you can.
Okay.
I think I get it. I think what Trump is trying to do, because he had mentioned this before with somebody, in his meetings, that was saying that women, people are coming here just to give birth. Now, I will say this. I do believe that to an extent, but I also believe, so what? You know what I mean? But I won't dig into that. So basically what he's trying to do now is, instead of the previous one, because he tried this shit before and it got knocked down, but then he's narrowing it to say, well, they have bad faith intentions because they're just coming here and knowing that they're pregnant and trying to just stay here and have their babies here. But the thing is, they're saying that there's nothing in the language of the Constitution that allows for Trump's executive order to have any sort of legitimacy. So it should get knocked down again. And what you call it? It's like try again, boo. He's still, because he just constantly has to feed his racist base, and because that's the reason that he's trying to show. Like, when we literally have 50 million other more important things that actually need to be.
JJ, do you think that he is just he's a lame duck president, and his goal is to try to have his legacy based off of immigration, not based off the economy anymore?
Yeah, I think for sure, because I think it's the one thing. That's a good question, and I think that that's what it is. I think that that's the only thing that even people on, even like some Democrats and things will, who are maybe more moderate, um, give him some latitude there and some credit for, well, at least he feels, or maybe independents, really Democrats even feel this, but so I guess I get that part, but at the same time, it's not gonna work because he's had several chances to, even now, actually I think it's too late at this point, but like all of the shit that happened with ICE, especially with, the murders, from my vantage point, and really executions of Renee, I was gonna say Renee Pretty, Alex Pretty and Renee Good, that was the time to, kind of come in as the white knight if he had any political savvy left, and if he actually gave it left, because I don't think it was correct. Because he's already grifted, he's already made, like more money in the last year than literally every president in U.S. American history, combined. So I don't think he cares now. He's like trying to fix the reflective pools and just build his body building statues and shit. But I think that the immigration thing is the one thing that he thinks is untouchable as far as his Project 2025 MAGA agenda. So he's gonna try as much as possible to beef that up. But it's still ain't gonna work. We see.
So I feel like this is kind of similar to when they're always bringing up trans women in sports. Though there's relatively few trans women in sports. Okay. And that issue was actually the result of them doing a lot of market research and focus groups and figuring out like what is the thing that is really upsetting to people, whether it's actually a problem or not, what can we like talk about? And they found that it was the sports issue, so they pushed that. I feel like it's kind of the same thing with this birth tourism thing. Most births to non-residents or non-citizens or whatever are to people like students, like people here on their, PhD or people who've lived here for a long time. It does happen, but it's relatively uncommon, rare phenomenon. But they feel like, oh, this is something that we can get people, to rally behind. This is the next distraction, so let's push this. The other thing I would say is, if the parent does something wrong, why is the child being punished? Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Can you imagine in the hospital?
Do you have children, Mala? Do you have children?
I don't want to speak about
It's not relevant. Not relevant to the conversation.
I have grandchildren.
It's not relevant to the current conversation.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, because we can speak on certain things and we don't have to have a personal connection to the part of the issue.
Well, now we're gonna have the baby police.
Why were children brought into this conversation now? That's the problem I'm having.
Just find too that it's so audacious to be, because that Supreme Court decision was June 30th, and what are we now, like August 6th or something?
Like this a couple of times.
Really quick. This is getting so close to like the constitutional crisis that everyone was afraid of, where like Supreme Court makes decisions and then Trump's just like, yeah, no. And it's really like, even doing things by executive order, like it's a very weak way to do something. Everyone knows laws are much stronger. Executive order can be overturned like that. But obviously he doesn't have the capacity or savvy to pass laws, so they want to do things by executive order because it's flashy. So he's making a big show, but it's not just an immigration, it's a flouting the Supreme Court. And people say, oh, have you seen what those democratic socialists are doing and their proposals? And they want to, do this, and they're so extreme, and they're so... You have a man who's telling you Supreme Court decisions don't matter. The Justice Department is not independent. And what could be more extreme?
But executive orders are impactful, like executive orders.
Off my first in a second. But
You keep speaking over me.
well, back on my first. And you spoke and I was speaking.
Sean was actually first.
No, she wasn't first. She was
You
not
keep
first.
speaking over me.
No, I wasn't. No, back on my first.
Okay. You know what? It's okay. Please go.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am, and thank you. And I try not to be disrespectful, but it's off my first. The idea that executive orders have a lasting effect. Case in point, we have these tariffs that were dismantled by the Supreme Court. How long did it take? The better part of this year? How much money did we spend paying taxes, paying these tariffs? Because they fell on the shoulders of American citizens with this executive order. And it wasn't until sometime this year that it was overturned by the Supreme Court. There's $81 billion owed back to us. And because of the lag between the executive order and the Supreme Court's decision, we are out $81 billion. And then $81 billion are going back to the people who ripping us off in the first place. So executive orders mean things until the Supreme Court to catch up. And so we can't ignore what he's doing with executive orders.
They're important,
some pass, some don't. Some pass, some don't. But the lasting effect, while it's still in effect, because once he signs it, it's in effect. And we are subjected to that order until the Supreme Court shows up and then
not if you can't enforce it and the states
and we are being penalized. We are being chased down until the Supreme Court gets to a place where, because right now it's bombarded with executive orders. So the longer it takes for the Supreme Court to decide on a decision for executive order, we, as the American people, are being
a month ago.
Get that part? Do you not get that part though? Executive orders count.
Okay, Sean.
Oh, it's okay. Okay, thank you.
Damn, she took the taste out your mouth.
Not me. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I just was really trying to understand how the operation works. Because, executive orders, I know they're not law, but I don't think folks understand if you haven't worked in the federal government that they are directives, and those directives are passed down to the secretaries, the heads of departments, and they're implemented. So anytime it passes an executive order, it has an impact on the American population vis-a-vis the department, the enforcing agency, whatever department that is going to be given the responsibility to implement that directive. And so I'm just wondering, is the first, I guess some of the first places that it can be implemented are the hospitals that are owned by the federal government. Whatever hospitals the military utilizing, veteran affairs. It's just, I don't know, this is just the weirdest time to be alive in this country. It's weird.
Yeah, it is very weird. It's a lot of weird stuff going on. It's just because we're weird people. Now another thing that's happening, and this also breaking news, I don't know how much it is for you guys, but it is for me. The White House is drafting an order on vaccines and autism. RFK and Dum Donald. He will write or present a executive order with this funky ass about the connection between vaccines and autism. And the question is, what is going on? He's trying to lose the midterms, right? Because it's completely unpopular with everybody, but he's just gonna do it anyway. So it says here, they're drafting an executive order to focus on the childhood vaccine schedule and autism, according to the 4 people familiar with the matter. The order will continue to spotlight a divisive issue that Republican pollsters have warned carries political risk ahead of the November midterm elections, and would follow the confirmation of the new CDC director. What's her name? I call her Superwoman, Erica, with all the alphabets behind her name. But I thought she said that she was going to. What did she say that? Did she say that vaccines don't cause autism, or she agreed with RK?
They do
Erica
cause
Schwartz.
autism.
Yeah, Erica.
Erica
She said what? I'm right. She said what? What did she say about autism?
Hi, Lisa. Hi, everyone.
Huh? Hey, you.
My daughter has autism. She used to be able to talk and sing before. And then she started eating baby food, and then they started giving her the vaccines, and they forced it upon her. And then everything was different. And people don't even realize that if you get the COVID vaccination, even your kids, you're considered transhuman. Look it up. People don't even realize
This is
it.
dangerous misinformation.
Hi.
30 minutes till 12 o'clock.
I'm sorry, like I haven't been here in a while. I want to say hi.
Yeah, I was going to say hi to you, Aurora. I didn't know that your daughter had autism.
She has level 3 autism and she's nonverbal. How does a baby go from singing and talking to being completely fucking mute?
Also, Misa, Erica said that there is she accepted there's overwhelming evidence vaccines don't cause autism.
Now she's going to keep her job.
I don't know. Well, Misa, did you see what was it, Janine Pirro the other day?
That was in my head. That's why I said, how is she going to keep her job?
Yeah, because that was wild.
A question before we go to Janine Shapiro, and welcome, Aurora. I didn't know that. I didn't know that about your daughter. And much love to you and your daughter.
Thank you. I'm joining like a huge lawsuit because there's a bunch of people suing Gerber and Beechnut because she was eating baby food, and then it was just like, it was weird because she aspirates when she swallows, and it wasn't always as severe as it has gotten at the time. So like in January 2020 when they did the barium swallow study, they realized that it was going in her airway and they immediately hospitalized her. She was hospitalized for 6 months on a feeding tube and scared the shit out of me. She's a really strong, tough cookie. And it really made me think, and I'm like, how is it that she was alive all this time? She was almost 3 years old. And the fact that like she is going through all of this, she was able to eat before. And then with autism, she started to aspirate. So like she has a rare form of autism which causes regression. And people don't realize with autism, if a child is sick, they regress. They stop talking as well. If they're uncomfortable, if something is going on, if something is bad, behavioral, if somebody did something to them, if they're completely having like a meltdown, a crash down about it, they can regress as well. There's so many different factors when it comes to that. But the key factor is that when it was introduced into my daughter, it was introduced through vaccines and baby food. Because let me tell you, my daughter used to sing Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the jungle, baby. Do you know where you are, Mama? You in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die. She used to sing it just like that. And she used to sing Guns N' Roses. How does a baby go from singing and talking to nothing? That's how I knew something was fucked up. And they're doing this to adults and children. They're doing it on purpose.
That I followed the autism story from 1911 when they didn't consider it behavioral pattern and the manipulation and how they use the term autism to cover up the dumb shit that they're doing to us and our children is asinine. So I followed the story. The idea that we are having discussions about immigration when the autistic stories and stories like yours are mounting beyond belief, because in schools these days, because of the rise of autism, you have half the school doesn't have autism, and you have the other half of school who has autism, and the autistic population is beating out the kids who don't have autism. So the idea that we're talking about immigration in the story where you have, and I have, and we have these horrific stories where you see your baby.
Yeah.
And you expose your baby to these laws, these dietary plans. And go
ahead, babe. Finish.
Yeah, as we expose our children, because I grew up in a time period where I could appreciate and respect, the whole vaccine records that I put my children through. I could appreciate that, but it wasn't until like the 90s where it became, a life or death situation, and you were playing poker with your own children, and it's horrifying. It's saddening, and so my heart goes out to you 1,000%. But the idea that we are talking about immigration, we're not talking about, we're talking about how do we eat lettuce right now. That's what we're talking about. And we're at a bigger point as we go into the midterms is immigration is just asinine because Americans and our children are suffering. And that's across demographic backgrounds. We're all just suffering. And we don't know what to do about it. And I think there's a bigger point that the Democrats nor the Republicans are doing a goddamn thing about it, which is ties back to my point an hour or two ago. Neither one of those parties is doing shit about it, and we don't know how to solve it. We don't.
This is it right here. This is autism. This is adult autism. Autism speaks.
Because there's too many points. Because there's too many.
Do you know that bipolar is one of the symptoms of autism? A lot of people who are autistic are actually.
I know I was talking though. Can anybody hear me?
I hear you.
You breaking up. You breaking up real bad. Try leaving and coming back.
Aurora need to find it out.
You're long-winded, honey. Just can you land, please?
Okay, well now thank you for that, Aurora. I'll land there.
Aurora, that's funny you say that. But listen, let me tell you, Kia and Aurora, I appreciate you guys contributing, and I have to say this, Kia, we have to know how to talk about everything. I don't understand how we have to just laser focus our efforts onto one thing because just about everything that's going on is affecting our community. So we can have a room on autism. That would be great. And you guys seem like you guys know a lot about it. So we'll invite you guys to be the people, not the key speaker, because we'll have someone who specializes in treating autism, and you can come in and basically submit your experience with it. But it's an important topic because a lot of people, children, are being diagnosed with autism, and if it's connected to vaccines, well, that part I don't know too much about.
They have this thing with adults. I don't know if you know, Lisa, but
I'm not an autismologist. I don't like to speak on stuff that I don't really have a lot of information on.
I do.
So that's why I say, I know you do. That's why I said, not tonight, but we're going to open up this space for you guys to have this conversation and also have it with a person that is specializing in this level of care. All right, y'all? Is that cool?
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Lisa, do you think that all of this is related to like the air that we breathe and the water that we drink?
No, sir, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
They spray chemicals in the air all the time.
Oh, they do.
And it's like they noticed that the day of the eclipse, Mateo and I, they put an X in the sky.
I think he's trying to elaborate on this. So you're saying you feel it's associated with water and air? And
No, all I said is like, do you think that it could be associated with the fact that our air isn't clean and maybe water isn't clean and all of that stuff?
I
haven't seen any studies on it. Have you?
Aurora just told you.
That's cheating. I told you because they've been. People don't pay attention.
You said baby food.
Yeah, but you worried about them wearing a frigging mask, right? What about the shit they're spraying in the air above us every single day? You ever wonder?
Yeah, I just didn't know.
You don't even wonder about that. Come on now. It's like the shit.
I
And
just
it's like,
didn't know
hold on. And Google. Well, if our numbers serves me correctly, the Google fans have been like paid to spray all kinds of toxic chemicals to kind of kill off some of the population. You guys really should do your homework.
Wait, the Google fans?
Yes, ma'am.
sure you want her as a guest, Lisa.
I just walked straight into that one. Google vans? I gotta, now I'm up here Google.
So I'm aware of the Google
You know the
vans.
Google vans that are supposed to be the Google vans?
The Google vans are
So
the
they come and
ones.
pick y'all up?
Yeah, they came to my house to hook up my internet.
I got my Cabbage
Spring
Patch off of
tincture.
the
I
Google
saw a
van.
video of the vans that spray chemicals.
Megan, I'm sure you have thoughts.
I just got Google Fiber. It's really cute. Y'all should.
I got some
Google van
friends,
outside at
and
13.
they came off of the Google van.
You
It
guys
was
think I'm
before
fucking
Amazon.
playing. I am not playing.
No, you are.
It was
No,
before
that-
Amazon, right after
Oh my
AOL.
fucking god, I'm being dead serious, you guys.
Yeah, but that's
I
not
am
true.
too.
The fucking mask.
I did see one. I saw one.
No, Aurora is right. There are a lot of
We're not Google
parents
Fiber
that
here.
are.
Megan, thank you for jumping in. We need to hear your voice. Please go ahead.
There's a lot of parents. Oh, whoever's hitting the X's, thank you, very nice. There's a lot of parents that have seen major changes with their children. My daughter, one of her classmates in kindergarten had a sibling who was 4 years older than her, and the dad was an anesthesiologist. And after she got her MMRs, she went from a perfectly normal child who was developmentally on track for everything, and then she just totally changed. And there's endless stories. I mean, they're like all the same. But as an anesthesiologist, being in the medical profession, having gone to medical school, everything, he refused to vaccinate his children after that. So that was a personal experience I have. But I mean, if you really look and start to listen to parents, I mean, who are we to dismiss what these parents are saying? And part of what happened was in 1986,
Some of those parents are scientists too, so listen.
in 1980, I think it was 1986, somewhere in the 80s, they took the liability. Hang on, one sec. You can talk all you want.
Is it one?
They took away the liability from the vaccine companies, and we went from having a handful of vaccines given to children to, I mean, look up the number of vaccines that kids get compared to in the 80s or in the 70s. It's there's no comparison. So we're blasting them with heavy metals that cross the blood-brain barrier, and because the vaccine companies.
It is.
What's irresponsible?
This is medical.
You guys just hear you guys hear this?
Wait.
How about you shut the fuck up?
Wait 1 minute. Suck my fucking dick. How about that? Stop.
Just stop for a second. Just stop. Because, you're the parents are, you're not, first of all, this is not affecting your child. Is it, who was speaking?
It was Megan.
No, I'm talking about, it was you.
I was talking, I thought you meant like who was in
No, but do you have a child that currently has autism?
No, I was just sharing a personal experience with you.
So this to say about this, because I think right now, until we get like,
well, my oldest daughter is mildly autistic.
Okay.
And she.
Hold on for a second, though. Hold on for a second. Because, the vaccine is not going to end well. And I'd rather get the time, because everybody I've taken vaccines, my kids taking vaccines, I haven't had that experience. So it can't be that the vaccine is bad for the millions of people that take vaccines every year, the millions of babies that are vaccinated every year. We have reactions. Everything is not for everybody. Vaccine has in it. Your child might have been highly susceptible to it because of what their particular makeup. You are I'm allergic to shit y'all are not allergic to. I know somebody that told me yesterday they were allergic to alcohol. I said, are you talking about rubbing alcohol? He goes, no, alcohol. Then they got people allergic to aspirin. They have people allergic to all kind of shit that you might not be allergic to, and another 100 people are not allergic to. That's why we ask these patients, what are
you're saying it's not the vaccine, but it's the people?
I'm not saying nothing. Don't put shit in my mouth.
No, I'm asking you. It's not the vaccine.
No, I don't have an opinion. I will wait for the person who knows. Because, see, I'm not an everythingologist here. When I don't know about something, I'm not going to speak on it. I'm not even going to give you my fucking opinion. I'm sorry to say it like that because this is just the way you have to operate on this app. So what I'll do is bring somebody who absolutely deals with this. But y'all going to fuck around and fuck with them too. And they gonna have all kind of letters behind their fucking name, and all you know everythingologists are gonna go after them too.
They're not gonna say this. They're not. Nobody. Can you just hold on, man?
No,
well, girl, you don't want to battle with me like that. I could definitely overtalk you. So you could. So yeah, girl, shut up. We are tired of hearing your propaganda, girl. Please, it's like really. So yeah, like that's cool and all, but like there's things like called science and data, and like people can read data. You don't have to be a scientist or a medical professional to read the data.
Read all the data.
Well. In a room of this size, there are enough people who can that you can just get that. But coming up saying, oh yeah, my cousin who had they beat the fuck out of Nicki Minaj for doing that. So we can't like just be like, oh yeah, because my cousin foot swelled up and she took it, so you know that means y'all gotta worry about y'all feet. Like stop that.
I agree with that part.
But that's essentially what they're doing.
I'm not gonna stand on nothing though. But these people have children. Do you have children with autism?
My brother is autistic. He is Asperger's, but he is not. It wasn't caused by any vaccines. Like no one's was caused by vaccines because there is no scientific proof.
There's no statistical data to suggest cause and effect. There's no effect from a cause. There's nothing wrong. It's so good for you.
But the reality is that no form of autism is caused by vaccines.
And what I do know about is what y'all are talking about. Vaccines usually.
We support the scientists. We support science.
I know this for a fact. Can I fucking finish? Right. So
I guess we're just giving you the same respect that you give everybody else.
Are you done, Becky, or can I finish? Y'all better stop playing with me, please. I'm just trying to talk. Like, I've been very mature. So anyway, like which usually affects you in a different type of neurological way. It usually messes with your nerve endings and your nerve sheath, which is called the myelin. So that's usually how it affects people. And I know this personally. So the ways that you guys are talking about vaccines, when people have adverse reactions to it, it's not, they don't develop autism. That's not what happens. So I wish, yeah, okay, either, any of, none of that, okay, yeah, a lot of things have metals. A lot of things have metals in them, and some metals, some. I wasn't finished.
My baby got that we just
So that's why some type of scientific like understanding is because saying that things have metals in them isn't sufficient.